I decided to give the luxury car that you bought to my parents.
What are you talking about?
Mom and Dad are really happy.
Wait a minute. Did you buy it with the intention of giving it to your mom and dad?
Yes, that's right. No matter what you say, it's already bought. If you disobey me, I'll divorce you.
What? Divorce? At that moment, something inside me that had been holding me back collapsed. If you disobey? Divorce? Who is saying that? Fine, I'm happy to do it. My name is Kathy. I'm a 37-year-old office worker. I live with my husband, Roger, and our daughter, Sarah, who just turned 7. Roger and I both work, so we don't have any trouble making a living. My daughter is growing up well. I'm happy in my own way, but it's not that I don't have complaints to Roger. Roger is the type of person who cares more about his parents than his own family. Of course, it's good that he cares about his family, but there were many things when he would prioritize his own parents and his own daughter. That's not a pleasant thing for me. Even when my daughter was being born, I called Roger at work and told him I was having labor pains. I asked him to come to the hospital because I was about to give birth.
I'm sorry. I just got a call that my mom burned her finger, so I'm going to go by my parents' house,
he said. I thought, how could he possibly be more worried about his mother's burn than his wife's delivery? And my mother-in-law's burns were caused by touching a pan that was on fire with her bare hands. She just got a small burn, and when she cooled it down under rolling water, it was fine. I couldn't believe my mother-in-law for calling her son for such a thing. And I also couldn't believe Roger rushed to her place in a panic for such a thing. Roger is hardworking and basically kind to me, but how he is to his parents really bothers me. Also, something like this happened. The day of my daughter's first birthday coincided with my in-laws' trip. The in-laws had asked him to drive the car, so Roger's first priority was to drive them. And he didn't even celebrate our daughter's birthday together coming back home. But he stayed at a hotel with his parents because they could get an extra room at the inn. It was unbelievable that he would prioritize a trip with his parents over his own daughter's first birthday. I felt distrust towards Roger. After that, this kind of thing happened often, but I couldn't easily divorce him. I still loved Roger, and I didn't think it was right to deprive my daughter of her father so easily. And it's not that he doesn't care about his daughter. He was not indifferent to his daughter. So I had faith that he would eventually prioritize our daughter. But from the time she was born until this year, he has never celebrated our daughter's birthday with me. She is now 7 years old. He seems to think that her birthday should be celebrated with just the two of us. I tried not to make her feel lonely. I thought about inviting my in-laws to celebrate her birthday with me once, but my in-laws refused, saying it would be too much of a hassle to come over. It's true that it takes about 2 hours by car to come to our place from my parents-in-law's house, but Roger always goes to see his parents without thinking of the distance as a hassle. But to say that it's hassle to come here, I think it's too selfish. And my mother-in-law is so selfish that he says he wanted me to have a boy in the first place. And she doesn't love our daughter at all.
I told you that I want a boy, so why did you disobey me?
I couldn't believe my ears when she said these words. I don't think you can choose the sex of your child, and I don't think it's that important to have a boy in the first place. It's not that Roger's family is a famous family. It's just that my mother-in-law is old-fashioned and insists on having a boy. The only reason Roger doesn't celebrate our daughter's birthday with us is partly because he's trying to please his mother. Roger is more concerned about his parents than anything else. He can't seem to disobey anything his mother says. When Roger took me to her New Year's family gathering at my parents-in-law's house, she said a lot of things to me. My mother-in-law seems to enjoy bullying me, not only about not having a boy, but she also picked on me about other things.
Kathy, why can't you do things more quickly? Look, there's someone with an empty cup. Why don't you pour a drink?
My mother-in-law used me like I was working in a brothel. She made fun of me in front of the relatives.
My son is really great, but his wife is a disaster. Her job is just a simple office work, entering data. I wonder how she can keep doing that and not get tired of it.
I've told her many times that my job is not data entering, but engineering. But my mother-in-law doesn't understand me at all. Besides, data entry is a great job too. I don't understand why she denies it. I'm sure she can see our daughter, but she ignores her. She gives New Year's gifts to other relatives' children, but not to our daughter. And I'm angry at Roger, who doesn't stop her at all. His daughter is being mistreated, and his wife is being mistreated like a fool. I don't know why he's laughing at what his mother says. He even says, "My wife is not good without me." He's trying to act cool in front of the relatives. I didn't want to deprive our daughter of her father, so I tried to be patient, but I gradually lost my love for Roger. Then one day, Roger asked me for a favor. "Actually, there's something I want to buy." "What is it?" "A car." "What? A car?" I was surprised. Roger was never interested in cars or anything like that. "Why, all of a sudden?" "I just thought I could get a new one for a change. You know, I drive to my parents' house all the time, so I thought I'd like to freshen it up. We live close to a supermarket. I don't drive that much. I'm not interested in cars, so I thought I'd leave it to Roger." "Well, it's up to you. You're the main user of the car." Roger looked happy, and then continued with a slightly apologetic look on his face. "Oh, here's the thing. I'll choose the car, and I'd like you to pay for it." Roger wants a car for himself, but he can't afford to buy one himself. He wants me to pay for it. In fact, my salary supports the family's finances, and I don't expect Roger's salary to do so. When I was on maternity leave, Roger did not contribute his salary to the household, so I immediately resumed work right after giving birth. But I'm an engineer, so I talked to the company about allowing me to work remotely from home. I work while raising our daughter when she was little. I thought it was selfish of Roger, who spends his salary mainly on himself, to make me pay for a new car. But when he's in good mood, he often takes care of our daughter, so I decided to allow him to do so. "Okay." "You sure? Thank you." Roger was so happy that he started looking at catalogs and researching on the internet. I'm the one who pays for it, so I warmed him though. "Since there will only be 3 of us, it doesn't have to be a big car." "Yeah, I know." Roger was just humming along my words. I didn't know if he was listening or not. and he went to the car store every now and then talked to the dealer. About 2 weeks later, Roger said he was going to buy the car. He took me to the store. Roger was so excited. I sat down and waited for him to tell me what to do. And here comes the dealer. Here's his car and the contract. I was surprised to see the car that the dealer had prepared for us. It was a large luxury minivan. Oh my God! Are we buying this?
Oh yeah, it's nice. I'm really excited.
Wait a minute. I don't think we need it at all.
I mean, for the future, it's better to have something as big as this. Maybe we have another baby.
Roger insists it is a good choice, but I was surprised to see that it's not what I imagined the car to be at all. Even if we do have another child, this car is too big for a family of 4. Are we really going to buy this car? I said again and again, and he looked frustrated.
Why do you keep saying the same thing over and over? You're making the dealer feel uncomfortable. You're the one who said leave it to me.
I did, but...
Then what's the problem? It's settled.
Roger signed the contract. Then the dealer explained the price. I was surprised to hear the price. I can't pay this one lump sum. You have to get a loan or something.
What the heck?
Fine, I guess I don't have a choice. Roger insisted on signing the contract in his own name. So we took out a loan. From now on, I would put the money into Roger's account and make the payments on the car loan. We bought the car in this way. Later, the car arrived at our house.
Whoa, it's so cool.
Roger was so excited when he saw the car. I thought, well, if he's happy with it, why not? Then something unexpected happened. It happened on a weekend. Roger had a car keys, so I asked him if he was going somewhere.
Oh, where are you going?
To my mom and dad's.
All right.
He's leaving our daughter behind to visit his parents again. You're going in that car, aren't you? And then Roger happily says something I didn't expect.
Yes, that's right. I've decided to give the luxury car you bought to my parents as a present.
What are you talking about?
Mom and Dad are really happy with it. Of course I'm going to drive it in every time we go out.
Wait a minute. You bought it as a gift for your mom and dad at the first place.
Yes, I did.
You're kidding, right? You said you wanted it, so I agreed to buy it.
That's why. I knew if I told you from the start that I was buying it for my parents, you're never allowed it.
Of course not. It's crazy that you would put your own parents first to the extent.
No matter what you say, I already bought it. It's in my name, and I get to do it with what I want. If you disobey me, I'll divorce you.
Divorce? At that moment, something inside me that had been holding me back collapsed. I had my complaints toward Roger, but my rational mind was telling me not to get divorced because of our daughter. And even though Roger puts his own parents first, I thought he also cared about his own family, me and our daughter. But he could easily cut us out of his life for his parents. How is that possible? Divorce? If I disobey? Who the hell does he think he is? I'll show him that he's the one in trouble. Fine. Let's have the divorce.
What?
I don't want you around anymore. Go back to your mother and father, Mama's boy. I tried to provoke him. And just as I had planned, Roger's face turned red and he became angry.
What? You're making fun of me, aren't you? Fine, then let's get a divorce right now. I'll go get the divorce papers.
Roger sniffed and went to the city office. While he was there, I started packing my stuff. I called my parents, explained the situation, and asked them to pick me up. I told my daughter to pack her things too. Meanwhile, Roger came back.
I've got it. Sign it quickly.
Roger had filled out a form at the city office, and it was signed in a very dark handwriting that looked like it was written out of an anger. I signed my part without hesitation. Well, I'll file it. So why don't you just go?
I'm going even if you don't tell me to. You are really such a terrible wife, you know that?
Roger led with his footsteps making loud noises. Why did I stay married to such a person for so long? If I had to do this, I should have left him sooner. But it's no use regretting it. I'm grateful that I was able to leave him, and from now on, I will do my best as a single mother. A few minutes after Roger left, my parents arrived. We cooperated and finished packing our belongings. We loaded them into my parents' car and went home. In the meantime, I filed the divorce papers and my divorce from Roger was finalized. It was just a piece of paper. But when I filed the papers and realized that we were no longer officially married, I suddenly felt much lighter. Then I decided to look for a place for our daughter and I to live together. About a week after Roger and I divorced, I was at my parents' house when I saw the luxury car that Roger had purchased. I walked into my parents' house with our daughter. I saw my ex-husband and my ex-in-laws in the living room. My mother noticed me and took our daughter to the other room. I went to the living room. Roger was talking to me in a panic.
Oh, Kathy, what's the insurance on that car?
Roger started asking me very agitatedly.
What's the matter with you? Why are you barging in our house like this?
I said coldly, and my ex-parents raised their voices.
We don't want to come here either. We came here because of circumstances beyond our control, didn't we?
Why should I be yelled at?
My father was quietly angry at my ex-in-laws for raising their voices.
If that's the case, could you please leave? You're strangers to us now. We can call the police and have them kick you out.
Then my ex-parents-in-law were frightened and became silent.
Hey, Kathy, tell me, what's going on with the insurance payments?
I couldn't help but sigh. Did you forget what you said when you signed the contract? You insisted that the papers be in your name. So you bought the car in your name and took out the loan in your name. You have to pay for the insurance yourself. My words made all of my ex-parents-in-law pale. Roger had made a choice to take a loss for the sake of his own pride. Well, I didn't want that car in the first place, so it's normal that he buys it in his own name. It's his fault that it turned out to be he to do the payments.
Oh no.
Apparently, Roger and his parents were so excited about their luxury car that they drove the car too fast and they drove it into a guardrail. And the front part of the car was broken. Come to think of it, when I came home, it was parked so that I couldn't see the front side of the car. I didn't look at it properly, so they came to me, who was in charge of the payments, to ask about insurance. The car is owned by the loan company, so it would have to be fixed soon. And since they don't have insurance, they are responsible for the entire cost. And they would have to pay for the guardrail too. I wonder how much it would cost to repair a luxury car. I'm sure it's going to be expensive. In the end, the ex-husband and his parents returned the car and were charged a large amount of money for the repairs. After that, I received a lot of emails from Roger asking me to get back together with him. One of the messages said that they couldn't afford to pay their rent and utility bills. He moved back to his parents because of that. However, it seems that Roger's parents were really hard on my ex who was driving the car. Now he doesn't want to stay at home because of their attitude. But he can't live alone because he has a lot of debts. Roger is still insisting that he wants to see our daughter after all this time. I think that's too selfish, and I'm not going to allow it. I keep ignoring his emails. Of course, I didn't tell him about the new house that I and our daughter live in. The only thing I was worried about was whether our daughter would miss him. However, to my surprise, she doesn't seem to mind at all and seems to be enjoying her life. I will continue to work hard to protect our daughter's life. I don't think you should put your own parents before your own daughter. And while having your wife pay and giving the car as a gift to your parents, that's quite impossible. Well, he destroyed himself, so he really deserved it. I hope Kathy and her daughter have a happy life together. Thank you for watching to the end. Please subscribe to our channel if you like. See you in the next video.